In an apparently very painful moment on Tuesday evening, an elderly woman who appears suffering from age-related bending and muscle weakness known medically as kyphosis could be seen struggling and battling helplessly for the safety of her own life as a group of terrorists invaded and took over a church in Nigeria. The worshippers of Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, were attacked during their church service that was live-streamed on social media platforms, and the video live coverage captured the moment the elderly woman was moving from one hideout to another, hiding under table, trying to move fast and run for safety alongside others before the terrorists, who also parked the worshippers' belongings, intercepted the camera device that was live streaming the church service and probably destroyed the device. The attack, according to Evangelical Church Winning All, ECWA News Media, known as ECWA Nationwide Gist. The attackers were Islamic terrorists and they invaded the church located at Eruku community, a border town with Kogi State in the Ekiti local government area of Kwara State around 5 p.m. on Tuesday evening, killing 3 worshippers at the spot and kidnapped several Christian worshippers in the church including the presiding pastor. The ECWA News Media has reported in recent days that the attacks on Christian communities in Nigeria is growing almost higher on daily basis, specifically stating that Reverend Father Bobby Pascal, parish priest of St. Stephen Parish in Kushgaju, Kagako local government area, Kaduna State, was kidnapped by Islamic terrorists in the early hours on Monday, November 17, 2025. In addition, the ECWA News Media also published image of 12 residents including an ECWA pastor that were kidnapped by Islamic terrorists last week at the Gidanwaya community in Lere local government area of Kaduna State. The safety of the elderly woman is yet to be ascertained as at press time, as the Kwara State Police Command of the Nigeria Police Force described the successful terrorist act as an attempted bandits attack, according to Sahara Reporters News Media. Eyewitnesses reported that the attackers came in suddenly, shooting sporadically, and gathered some worshippers, including the pastor, and marched them into the bush. The exact number of abducted victims remains unknown, but residents say the attackers fled through bush paths linking neighboring communities. The incident has left the community in panic and chaos, with residents and travelers fleeing into surrounding bushes for safety. At midnight on Tuesday, some stranded travelers in a viral video called for help as they could not continue their journey due to the terrorists who were on rampage in the town. Evangelical Church Winning All, ECWA Nationwide Gist News Media stated that, this evening, around 5 p.m. today, Islamist terrorists invaded CAC in Eruku, Kwara State while evening service was going on. The pastor of the church and some females have been kidnapped, 3 people shot dead. The church program was on live stream when bandits entered the church. In another report, the ECWA News Media stated that another Catholic priest has reportedly been abducted by Islamic terrorists in Kaduna. Reverend Father Bobby Pascal, parish priest of St. Stephen Parish in Kushgaju, Kagako local government area, Kaduna State, was taken in the early hours of Monday, November 17, 2025. The Gidanwaya community in Lere local government area of Kaduna State has released photos of 12 residents abducted by bandits last week. Reports indicate the attack left 4 people dead and several others injured. Among the kidnapped are 6 women, a minor, 3 young men, and an ECWA church reverend. The victims remain in the hands of the kidnappers, with the community urgently appealing for their safe and immediate release. Punch newspaper on Tuesday reported that at least 5 persons have been killed and several others abducted after suspected bandits launched 2 separate attacks in Eruku, a boundary town with Kogi State in the Ekiti local government area of Kwara State on Tuesday. In the first incident, the attackers stormed a branch of the Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, during a special service, shooting sporadically before targeting worshippers. The Punch learned that 3 worshippers were shot dead on the spot, while the pastor and an unspecified number of congregants were whisked away into the bush. An eyewitness, who pleaded not to be named, said, the gunmen came into the church while people were gathered. They started shooting and 3 people died immediately. They later rounded up some worshippers, including the pastor, and marched them into the bush. The exact number of abducted victims remains unclear, but residents said the gunmen escaped through bush paths leading to neighboring communities in Kogi State. Earlier in the evening, the bandits reportedly launched another violent attack along the Ilorin-Kaba Road, forcing travelers and residents to abandon their vehicles and flee into nearby bushes. A traveler returning from Niger State, who recorded a distress voice note obtained by the Punch, said, "We suddenly ran into them. Everybody abandoned the cars and scattered into the bush. They came around 6:30 p.m. and started shooting. 2 people were killed instantly, and we don't even know how many were taken. They're still shooting, you can hear it." A community leader, Mr. Benjamin Ayerib, told the Punch that Eruku has been under perpetual attacks for the last 3 weeks, lamenting that repeated distress calls to authorities have yielded no tangible response. "We have begged the local and state governments for help, but nothing concrete has come. We are living in fear every day," he said. Ayerib added that despite resistance from vigilantes, local hunters, the police, and the Eruku Progressive Union, the relentless attacks have overwhelmed the community. "We need federal help. These attacks are becoming too much for us to bear. We are pleading with the president to intervene urgently," he said. Sahara Reporters news media also reported that the Kwara State Police Command has confirmed a terrorist attack in Eruku town, which occurred around 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 18th. According to a statement released by the police public relations officer, SP Adeto Najire Adeyemi, the divisional police officer, DPO, of Eruku and his team, working alongside local vigilantes, responded swiftly to the sound of gunshots from the outskirts of the town. She noted that the combined security effort reportedly forced the assailants to flee into the bush. The statement read, "The Kwara State Police Command confirms an attempted bandit attack in Eruku, which occurred at about 1800 hours of today, the 18th of November 2025. The DPO Eruku and his team of police operatives, in collaboration with vigilantes, swiftly responded to the sound of gunshots emanating from the outskirts of the town, prompting the hoodlums to flee into the bush. Upon thorough search of the area, one male victim, Mr. Aderemi, was discovered fatally shot inside the Christ Apostolic Church, OK Asegan, while one Mr. Tunde Asaba Ajayi, another victim of fatal gunshot, was found in the bush. A vigilante, Shegan Alaja, sustained gunshot injuries and was immediately rushed to ECWA Hospital, Eruku, for medical treatment. CP Adekimi Ajo commended the swift response of the police and vigilantes. He also assures the public that security agencies will not relent until these hoodlums are totally decimated. Further updates will be provided as investigations progress, she added. Meanwhile, Barrister Opeyemi Bodand, in an ex-social media post written as a letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, stated that, "I'm writing to bring to your President Bola Ahmed Tinubu attention a dire situation unfolding in Eruku community, located in Kwara State. Tonight, heavily armed bandits brutally attacked worshippers at the Christ Apostolic Church, resulting in the tragic loss of lives and the kidnapping of many innocent worshippers. This heinous act is the latest in a series of assaults that have plagued our community for months, with Osi, Eruku, and Egbe roads being hotspots for these attacks. It's worth mentioning that the state governor's efforts seem inadequate, and we desperately need your leadership and support to address this crisis. As the president, you have sworn to protect the lives of Nigerian citizens, and we're counting on you to uphold that promise. Eruku shares a boundary with Kogi and Ekiti states, and we urgently need an increased security presence, in particular, the deployment of military personnel, and I urge you to take concrete steps to bring an end to these attacks. Please, Mr. President, act now to save lives and restore peace in Eruku."
Osazuwa Connect, bringing you the news in a more digital way.